Hello Easy. It's time for another record update, and let's start with the DVD actually. I finally bought Family Jewels by AC/DC. I've never seen this except for partly. I was at some bar, I think, and they showed this on a video screen, so I've seen part of these, and some of these earliest ones seemed quite funny, especially seeing Malcolm Young dressed up as some, how should I say it, failed clown costume. But some of these actually seemed quite funny, so I'm interested to see this. I haven't watched any of this yet. Okay, onto the albums. Let's start first with Wigwam, Hard and Horny. This is the album cover that this album is known with. This comes with a gatefold sleeve. Actually, I've never been really that interested in this album, but seeing as the way that they decided to release this, and I'm talking about this sleeve here. When they originally released this album, the record company Love Records was in such a bad financial state that they didn't have money to print the covers. So they only gave the band these cardboard sleeves, and the band themselves drew the covers. So when they started drawing these covers, at first they made sort of elaborate drawings like this one here, but as the day went on and they realized that actually 500 is a big number, so the further the time went, the less complicated the drawings became. So that's why I chose this one. This one is the clear vinyl, and this drawing here is the most complicated one of them all. Musically, I have to say that some of these tracks are really weird. I just there's one, there's some kind of a odd jazz backing and poetry reciting on top of it. It's really odd. But the B-side, which is written by Jim Pembroke, is really good. So musically, even the B-side is excellent. A-side does include a couple of good tracks, but the rest of the stuff is just way too weird for me. Okay, like I've said many times, the Ozzy Osbourne period at Black Sabbath has never been that important to me as the one with Ronnie James Dio. But I finally decided that I will have to invest a bit more into Ozzy period records. So I bought the first Sabbath album. This came with the gatefold sleeve, and I intend to investigate more into them. I do have this one and the following two albums also on CD, but I think it's time that I investigate even further. And this next one, I was really hesitant, but decided to take a plunge anyway. Lita Ford, Lita. I heard this album back in the day when this was released, and I didn't like it, but it was such a long time ago, so I decided to give this one a chance. And I have to say that when I put this on and the first track started playing, I was appalled. It sounded absolutely horrible. Late 80s pop metal at its worst. But luckily, rest of the album is better. It's not a hair metal masterpiece in any sense. It's a decent enough album, but the first track is just horrible. Rest of the album is far better. Then Jason and the Scorchers, Still Standing. I think this music was called country punk. Really rocking, good stuff. I have a couple of other Jason and the Scorchers records, so I've always wondered that why did I stop buying more of their albums. I still don't intend to buy all of their albums, but this one and maybe one other still more. Excellent stuff. Yeah, I just don't know why I stopped buying their records when I did, since it's been a very long time ago since I last bought their album. And the next one is very different. Sade, Soldier of Love. I found this one on my travels. The first 4 albums, Sade albums, I really liked them, but I became a bit wary of buying more since I heard that she started adding drum loops on her records. But some time ago I bought the Lovers Rock and I did like it, so I decided to give this one a chance also, since this was the only album of hers that I didn't have. Well, there's still the compilation Ultimate Collection, I think it was, but of the actual studio albums, this was the last one that I didn't have. And next one I found from Amsterdam, and I was very pleased to find this. Waylon Jennings, Old Waylon. Like I've said many times, it's really difficult to find any country albums here. So finding this from Amsterdam was a really great find. And musically, this is outlaw country at its very best. I think this is just brilliant album. And I found another, from the same store, I found another country album. Chris Christopherson, Border Lord. This is actually just an upgrade. I already have this one, but the cover is in bad shape. This one is not in excellent shape, but far better shape than one that I already had. And yet again, next 2 albums I also found from the same store. And let's start with Richard and Linda Thompson, Sunny Vista. Richard and Linda Thompson's first 3 albums, which they recorded for the Island Records, I absolutely love those. I adore those. But I've been very... I just haven't had any trust in their later albums, as if... Well, I just haven't had any trust in them as being as good as those first 3 albums. But I don't think I've ever seen this one before in the wild. So now that I found it, and it was very decent price, I think it was €8 if I remember correctly, I decided to give this one a chance. And I do like this, but as I suspected, I don't like this as much as those Island albums. And here is one of those Island albums. I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight. Brilliant album. These first 3 albums are just absolutely fabulous albums. I love these very much. Like Richard said, the glum is the new glam. They went really across against the grain at the time when they released these albums. These are kind of glum affairs, like one of the songs they sing to a newborn child, that there's nothing for you to grow up, there's nothing at the end of the rainbow. Singing to a newborn child such lyrics goes to show that these are quite grim affairs, but musically and lyrically absolutely brilliant. I love these. And next one, Dokken, Tooth and Nail. This was excellent. I already had bought one Dokken album and I did like it, but even still, this was far better than what I expected. I mean, this is just brilliant stuff. I mean, I have to say that looking back, because I was aware of these guys during the 80s, and I even saw them live then. It's a shame that I didn't get to know them back then. This is just brilliant 80s heavy metal. And again, quite far away. This next one, I never would have thought that I would see his albums here, but I did. Sturgill Simpson, meta-modern sounding country music. And this is, on record, this is quite close to outlaw country. It's not quite outlaw country, but somewhat similar to it. But actually, far more surprising was that he came to here for a live gig, and I went to see him. And live, he's far more rocking artist than on record. On record, he's very close to being an outlaw country artist, but live, he's far more rocking entity. Great album. And then the last one. Von Herzen Brothers, New Day Rising. I bought this yesterday at their gig. I went to see them live yesterday, and I bought this. So I haven't heard this yet, but based on the songs that they played live, they played majority of this album live there. I can already say that this is going to be a great album. Okay, and let's finish this one with an insult. A little while back I bought through eBay an 12-inch single, and it was cheap. Even with the postage, it was still cheap. It came soon, it came well packed, and the record was in great shape. So what exactly is my problem? My problem is the stiffener that they used. Yes, anaplastic people, the only way is up. Back in the day when this was hit, I think it was late 80s or something, early 90s, I don't know. I fucking hated this song. I absolutely hated this with a passion. Fuck, this was goddamn awful song. And if I remember correctly, it was maybe even UK #1. Oh God. The things you have to endure. But no fucking more. Yeah, that's it. Okay. If things go as I planned, this will be the last or second to last record update of this year, because during the last 2 weeks I have spent all of my savings from the last 12 months, so I am hoping to stay out of the record stores, with one exception. The Queen reissues are coming out in a couple of weeks, so I will buy one of those records soon. But other than that, I intend to stay away from the record stores until Christmas time. Whether or not that will be success, I don't know. But at least today there was a record fair and I didn't go there. Okay, that's it for now. Next video will be of some other subject. Thanks for watching. Bye.